I've asked our employees around the world what problems they feel we should think about working on, and what do they think are some of the big barriers to, a great world. And there were three, one of which was fairly new, and that's the environment. And that was across all geographies, all demographics, but that shows you the evolving view around the environment. Second was around education, but it's really heavily related to the third, which is part of our legacy here at Cummins, which is around social justice and improving the human condition. We have defined that for years as identifying those who live on the margins, who are not given the opportunities, and figuring out how to give everybody the same opportunities. What that's played out across the world is really different. For example, in the U.S., for years, much of it was around race. If you get in many parts of the world, people who are disabled have almost no role in society. Also women often have severe disadvantages, but in some places it's the poor. They have no access to education or no access to. So it plays out in a variety of ways around the world, but it resonates probably as well as anything we do around the world. When I talk to a lot of people outside of Cummins, you'll hear the idea of business has no role in this. Their role is to provide jobs, make money for their shareholders, etc. Luckily, I'm in a company that has adopted the stakeholder model many, many years ago that says we have an obligation to all of our stakeholders. And I don't have to do the job convincing our employees or our board that that's important. People can see it in both the short term, in terms of employee satisfaction, investors feeling okay about investing with us, retention, recruiting people. They see the value to the company, but our board and others see that long-term value of, when we started working in India, for example, we started getting engaged with a school that provided engineering training for women. It's now called the Cummins College of Engineering for Women. That step, along with ones we've taken around the world like that, helped us be involved there. It helped us build our brand and our reputation, but quite honestly, it also provided engineering talent for us. So it was a good thing. With a little bit of money, we could both help society solve a problem of educating women in India, but also helped us solve a problem of finding great engineering talent. So I think our board, our employees, and others see this as a two-way street. Cummins has a long history, and some of our core values around diversity and inclusiveness and taking a world view. And we've had this belief for a long time, and I think it's playing out, that it is going to be in our best interest to get the best talent anywhere in the world. In addition, we will be selling to people of all beliefs, of all types, anywhere in the world. And so we've had this long view of you need to give everybody opportunities, you need to give everybody an education, you need to respect everyone's values, and that has carried on for a very long time. Sometimes that has played out in not very popular ways. For example, when we took a stand to help support the March on Washington, or when we took a stand in one of our main communities around bringing an African American plant manager in and supporting him. Those were not particularly popular. The apartheid stand that we took, not at all popular and somewhat controversial inside the company. I go back and I read letters to Mr. Miller talking about, why this was wrong and it was anti-American and on and on and on. And looking back in hindsight now, it doesn't seem that controversial to do some of those things, but at the time it was. And recently, when we took a stand against the gay marriage ban, here in Indiana. We were also, I don't know if we were the absolute first, but one of the very first in Indiana to do domestic partner benefits. We actually had protests. We had all sorts of people upset about that. But I remember talking to people, and there was some debate inside, and people saying, but if we don't take what are our core beliefs and help solve those issues in a larger society, how are we helping to solve the problem? And so yes, they're controversial, but I think it's who we are. We also take stands on trade. We take stands on relations with other countries. We take stands on how do we encourage affordable health care. And we come out on all sides. Climate change, we've had people inside and outside that say, don't take positions on those. You will annoy someone. But it's part of who we are. And I think people would be shocked if we didn't.